are going to be doing the eyeshadow in Nebula Dust that you guys keep asking me how to apply. So here is your how-to video. You're welcome. So I have everything on my face so far except for my eye makeup. I did put a little bit of the 12-hour brow, aka brow wigs, in Dusty Brown, so that is on. And now I'm putting on my brow lift, which is this little guy right here. It is a real creamy eyeshadow base that we put underneath the outer 2/3 of the brow with our brow lift concealer brush. It hides any little hairs that need to be tweezed and creates just a real open look to the eyebrow. So you can see the difference that makes between one brow and the next. Just makes it look a lot cleaner and more open and more lifted. Grab a little bit more from here. You need very, very little of this stuff. A little bit goes a long way. This is about a 2-year supply for 25 buckaroos. If you use too much, you're gonna look like a cray-cray. And you're not allowed to tell anybody you're wearing my stuff if you look in cray-cray. Then you tissue off this brush. Then grab the eyeshadow base natural. So it's the same formula as the brow lift, different color. More of a wheat tone. It's gonna be better to hide veins and redness in the eyelid. So I spread this all the way across the lid from the base of the lashes up to the crease, or up through the crease, up to the brow lift. So that you can see the difference, especially when I look down, how much redness and how it hid those veins. Okay, once you get this on, then you can start applying your shadows. We used to, back when I first started to do makeup back in 1932, we used to use white eyeshadow all over. We no longer do that. So when you do these two products, do not use an eyeshadow as a base, like a bone color. I don't believe in that. I want all the colors to stick to the eyeshadow base. So now I'm gonna put on Nebula Dust. That's this little guy right here. And I'm using a large shadow brush, a large flat brush, and I'm gonna tap this onto the lid. If you're flicking your shadows like this, you're gonna end up with shadows all over your cheekbone and on your nose. So just make sure you're doing more tapping versus flicking. My rule of thumb at JKC is you can put shimmer on your lid, you cannot do shimmer in the crease. So keep that contained here. Okay, now take a look. That's Nebula Dust. Then I'm gonna switch, because remember I have all the shimmer on this brush. We wanna get a brush that doesn't have any eyeshadow on it, that you can use only for your matte crease colors. And I am going to use Stonehenge. I like this eyeshadow in the color Nebula Dust with Arabian Camel, Stonehenge, Persuade Me, Macchiato. You have so many choices. But I use this in between the eyelid and the brow bone. With this one, I'm pressing onto the skin. I'm not flicking. I'm keeping my brush touching the skin the whole time, going back and forth like a windshield wiper. Heavier towards the outside and kind of a gradient effect from light to dark as you're running out towards the brow lift. So you can see how that gave me a little bit of setback. I always call that my Spanx for the eye. Makes it look really tight when it's not. And define your crease. Don't go where the skin is folding down here. I just have a hooded eyelid. Go in the area between the eyeball and the brow bone, almost like you're pushing the brush in between those two. Then I switch over to my crease and corner brush, and I'm gonna use the gunpowder now. It's like a dove gray, kind of a blue gray, that I like to use in the corner just to develop some depth over here. A little bit up into the crease. Then you can go back with your crease color and blend everything out. That's if you want a little bit more of a dramatic look. You can do this before or after putting on the eyeliner. I'm gonna go back in a minute after I get the eyeliner on and put some more on, but just to give my crease a little bit more of a contour. Contour. Now I'm gonna use a newer brush. This one right here is the art liner brush. You guys have asked and requested videos on how to do our Tightline eyeliner. To me, it's way easier than using a liquid or a pencil. Liquid is not very forgiving, and pencils you can't get in between the lashes or draw inside the membrane. Your eye tries to flush it out all day. So I am going to show you, my camera woman is gonna make sure we really get up in that shit to show you how we make a paste. But with a damp brush, I'm making sure I'm getting it in there and getting the consistency of a shoe polish. If you have any more water than that, it's gonna end up inside of your eyeball and down here on the bottom, and you know how I feel about bottom eyeliner. So just make sure when you're making your paste, you're making it a nice rich paste, not juicy or watery. Y'all see that? Can you see? Okay. I think this brush is a little bit easier than the one that we have and used to use, which is the watercolor liner brush, because it helps to get a dovetail a little bit more. So when I'm applying this product, I go underneath the root of the lash and I press and I wiggle. So you can see how it's making the baseline of my lashes look fuller and defining my eyes a bit more. So if you're really nervous about going on top, you can stop here and just put your mascara on, no problem. I'm gonna put some on top because I like it a little bit more rich. And out towards here on the dovetail, I like to bring it up. That's going to extend my eye and give it a little lift towards the edge. If you're real slow while you're working, you may have to go back and dampen your brush some more if you're losing the water and it's absorbing. But check that out, looking good. So when you compare my two eyes, you can see you get a lot more definition and lift at the edge with the watercolor liner. So when I move to the second eye, I almost always have to go back, get a little bit more water. I can still work from that little spot on my hand. People ask, do you have to use your hand? No, you don't, but to me, it just helps me find the consistency. Instead of going this way with your eyeliner, see how the skin folds? Tilt your brush and bring it in. You're going against the grain so you don't get a dotted line. And voila, looking good. I think I just spit a little bit when I said that. Now we are going for the smoky eye smudge brush. And you can go back with the black shadow if you want it really rich, or go back with a little bit of gunpowder just to kind of smudge out the line. I don't like to see hard lines on my eye. I like it to look nice and smoky. And I already had a touch of mascara on, but if you want to go back and do a second coat, you're going to get a lot more richness in your lashes. Anytime that you put eyeshadow on, when you already have mascara on, the eyeshadow is going to kind of sit in the lashes, so one more coat of this stuff. It brings it back to life. And after you have finished your eyes, I always like to go back with a little bit of concealer. I don't have concealer over here, so we'll just pretend, and then do a little cleanup. So if you were messy and things fell down, you can just use your concealer brush to get a little bit more coverage and clean up the edge. And there you go. I'll take a picture so you can see in the really good light.
Won't you listen to me?